Hey everybody, welcome to What's Dope Spotlight, where we spotlight artists from all different walks of life. It doesn't matter what you do, hip hop, dance, film, if you a designer, it doesn't matter. We spotlighting everybody dope. And I am Malcolm, aka Justice the Genius Child. A little bit about me, I am also a rapper, producer, so I'm in the same position all of you guys are. And we put this together so people like us can have a spotlight where we can show our talent with the world. And today, I have two really dope guests, okay? One is a fashion designer named Diamond, and she is really dope. Also, I have a filmmaker named Christian Smooth, and we will be spotlighting those two today, okay? So, without further ado, let's just get into it. What's good, everybody? Like I told y'all, I am back and I got a special guest for tonight. He is real dope. You probably know him from around Annapolis. He's a videographer, he's a filmmaker, and he's also a photographer. And he's real dope. I've known him since like high school, yo. And his name is Christian Smooth. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, yo, thank you for being here today. Thank you for being part of what we're trying to do, What's Dope, and we're trying to showcase dope people like yourself. So I really want to thank you for being here, because we want to give you your flowers before you're gone, you know, because people don't do that enough.
I mean, I really appreciate it. Like I said, man, I've been a member, you know, like, what y'all been doing, like, What's Dope for like years. I mean, I want to definitely say, like, it's just been, like, amazing just to see What's Dope, like, blossom into what it is today.
Hey, thank you, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you. And so since you're here with us today, since I already know what you do, can you explain to the people kind of what you do?
So I am a screenwriter, I'm a director, I'm a video editor, videographer, and first and foremost, I'm a filmmaker.
First and foremost,
a photographer. I think I left out photographer.
And a photographer.
Yeah.
But I like what you said. First and foremost, you're a filmmaker. Can you go more into that?
Yeah. So you know, like I like to make the distinction between what a filmmaker is and what a videographer is. A filmmaker, you know, we like craft like stories. You know, we write the screenplays. We create the sets. You know, we curate. You know, the talent. You know, and like with like a videographer, you're just telling the story through like different like shots. You know. So it's like less, to me, it's like less involved, but they all like have like serve a very, you know, important purpose as far as like storytelling is concerned. You know, it's almost like a beat maker and a producer. You know.
Right. I remember you telling me that one time. Yeah. So also, Smooth, what inspired you to be a filmmaker? What inspires you to keep going?
You know, like early on, I mean, I was inspired by you know, just like reading comic books and just see how like, you know, the writers like told stories through like panels, and also like my favorite movie of all time, Fresh. That was like really the film that made me like really want to become like a writer. You know, like just like comics, and like that film like really like cemented my love for, you know, the craft of filmmaking.
So comics were the first thing that got you into it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So more of the visual, because it's more visual. Yes,
exactly,
that's great. And then speaking of visual, we're in a crazy time right now that's forcing a lot of people to go visual. And, you know, right now we're kind of history in the making right now, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, like every day is like a new chapter in like this crazy this crazy world that we live in. You know, every day is like history. You know.
Yeah, and so reason I bring that up, I just wanted to ask you, like, since you're a photographer and then you do a lot of the videos, taking pictures of the different marches, like the Black Lives Matter movement, you were there to take pictures of that. I think you were actually there when, you know, some of the protesters got like gassed and stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, I got tear gas when I was in DC. I mean, I tell people all the time, you know, it was very spicy, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So can you talk on how you feel being a part of history? Because you are really one of the biggest parts, because, you know, you're charting it down. You know, you're showing everybody what happened. Years from now, they could be looking at your pictures like, dag, that was crazy. How does that feel?
I mean, it feels great, you know, just to be able to like, you know, just share like what I'm seeing and like sharing it with the world. Like one of the cool things that happened like last year was I got contacted by the Maryland State Archives, and they asked to have my work featured in like, you know, the archives.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like years from now, like a time capsule, people gonna be saying that like, yo, that picture was taken by Christian Smooth.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
That's what's up. So basically, like you're leaving your legacy here. So when you're gone,
you know, you're still here through your picture and your work.
Yeah, that's what all about for me. You know, like, to be able, like, you know, like, leave a legacy and, you know, show people, hey, I mean, this is what, you know, this is what I did in 2020. You know.
Yes, that's real dope, Smooth. That's real dope. And then speaking of your work, you're also working on a lot of stuff right now. A lot of stuff. Can you tell the people kind of what you're working on?
So I just I'm about to release my first feature film, Dream Visions. I'm also in the process of finishing up like my second film, Stay Safe. You know, it's a little passion project about, you know, my take on the pandemic.
Okay. So you a busy man, basically, what you trying to say.
It's crazy, man, yeah.
So what is your day-to-day like filmmaking, you know, being a photographer? What is your day-to-day like?
So my day-to-day, I mean, I get up, you know, eat some cereal, like browse the internet, you know, real quick. I mean, answer emails, I mean, go out and, you know, like work with, meet up with clients and come home, just try to do some writing or some editing of either like photo or video. Okay,
so what is the process like for making a movie? Like, how do you even start? Where do you start at?
So like my filmmaking process starts with, you know, with the idea. I mean, I like marinate on the idea, and I like let the idea like grow like legs and arms and stuff, and I would go into like the outlining process. When I'll actually like outline the actual story, then I would like, you know, start to like, you know, like create the screenplay. Then I will, like, you know, find my cast, my crew, and we just make it happen, you know?
The things that just really make you mad about filmmaking that you just like, you was like, why do I even do this?
Man, I mean, it's, you know, just I mean, I'm not gonna throw anybody in the bus, but it's like sometimes just like dealing with talent, just dealing with other people's like personalities. I mean, I'm a very introverted person, so I like kind of like force myself to become like more of a extrovert, more of like a people person. But I mean, but it's also, at the same time, I love the challenge. I love like trying to get like performance out of someone, you know.
And would you say that is your favorite part of filmmaking?
My favorite part of filmmaking, I mean, like my favorite part of filmmaking is always like the writing. I mean, because like writing, that's like my first love. I mean, because I like getting into like filmmaking. I mean, I just want to just write solely, you know. But because like certain things that happened while I was a student in college, I had to learn how to edit, I had to learn how to shoot and direct and produce.
So basically, you just, to do what you wanted to do, you had to put on different hats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like way too many hats to step on top of hats, you know.
You a hustler. That's what you do. You hustler. I heard Mac Miller once said, the more you do, the less you wait. And I love that saying, because, you know, the more you do, like you said, you put on these different hats, you don't got to wait on people for your ideas and all that. So Smooth, since you obviously have a passion for filmmaking, what are one of the things about filmmaking that basically puts you in your zone, like place where you're mostly at peace, but you're still, you know, working on your craft? What are some of those moments for you?
So, like I said, filmmaking is like very hard. I mean, like some days it's like very stressful. Like, so like one thing that gets me into my zen, I guess you can say, on my bag, you know, it's just like editing photos, you know, just editing in general. Cause I mean, I just like throw on some music and just calm down, you know, just like really look at how I can make the shot better, you know. Or either like a photo or like a video, you know.
Okay, that's like your happy place, some would say.
Right. You know, like we said that one image or something like makes you go like, wow. I mean, this is fire. This is why I keep doing this. You know, that's the moment I live for.
And does that give you the most gratification from it?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, even with like writing, if I'm like having like a real good day when I'm like writing, working on a screenplay or something. Or even if I'm like writing like a scene and I have like those small bursts where I'm like writing like probably 20 pages in a day. I mean, those are like the movies I really love, you know.
Yeah. When you really just nobody can stop you. You ready to put up 40 that night.
Yeah, exactly. Like probably when you're like playing basketball or you're like, you know, you're in the studio like making a beat, you know. Like you just get that moment. It's just the hits, you know. So you just go with it.
You in the pocket. You in the pocket. Yeah. So Smooth, we've been talking about a lot of things that you do, but bro, you failed to mention one of the most important things that you do is that you teach the new generation of filmmakers and videographers and photographers. Like, you teach a class, like you're helping the next generation be able to blossom for the future. So can you please talk into more about doing that?
Yeah, I want to like shout out like Aaron Holland, you know, for like, you know, even give me the opportunity, you know, to go into the community and teach like these like young men how to, I mean, like even become like filmmakers and videographers. I mean, it's it's a very rewarding process. I mean, like going into it, I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'm ready for this, but just doing it is like, wow. I mean, just see like the ideas that they're coming up with and seeing that the content that they're producing. I mean, it definitely even inspires me, you know, gives me a reason to like, it reminds me like why I'm doing this as a filmmaker.
Yeah, seeing their passion, seeing the thing that make you do what you do. That's a great thing to see. And then so with these kids, what are some of the advice you give them, you know, to, you know, become great and become to get where you have got?
What I like to tell people is don't try to be like someone like me. You gotta find your own voice. I mean, it's good to have like influences, but at the same time, you want to be something that's, you want to be the person that's gonna like, you know, stick out, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always like better to be a first-rate version of yourself and like a second-rate version of someone else, you know. So that's one thing that I tell students, even like family members or whomever, you know. I mean, you know, you just definitely gotta just keep working at it. I mean, because like practice makes like permanent when it comes to like, you know, filmmaking or even like running or working out or what have you.
Yeah, and I like that you said that. Practice makes permanent.
Right.
Because a lot of people say practice makes perfect, but nothing's ever really perfect.
Right.
Like I had a brother that told me, don't say practice makes perfect, practice makes habit. So, you know, you get into the habit of doing things. And that's great that, you know, you're showing these kids that they can do things and different things, giving them opportunities. Like, because I mean, and when you were growing up, were there a lot of people telling you that you could be a filmmaker growing up?
I mean, they weren't, but I'm pretty sure if I like really like had the facilities to be around like film or what have you, I mean, I'm pretty sure they would have. But I mean, that the opportunity was never really put forth when I was like, you know, their age, you know.
Facts. So basically, yo, you breaking the cycle.
Right.
You are, you know, when people say that you gotta be that change,
Right.
you are that change. That's dope, yo. Like, give yourself a round of applause, bro. Clap for yourself, bro. That's dope. That's real dope. And so Smooth, I just really want to thank you for coming on this show, coming on What's Dope. And you are a very dope individual. That's why I wanted to bring you on here. You're behind the camera a lot, so definitely want to put you in front of the camera real quick.
This is definitely a change of pace. I mean,
for being behind the camera.
Right,
but thank you, Smooth, for being a part of this. And is there anything you want to leave off and say to the people?
Like one of the things I want to instill in the people is like we live in a very like technological advanced like age, you know, like the fact that we have you know, devices such as these where like they have like feature films being shot on this, so it's like no excuse not to be able to create content. You know, you don't need like a $6,000 camera to make your 1 minute film. I mean, you have something like right here that can do the job. You know, it's all about what you have up here, you know?
Facts. Like, yeah, no excuses. Like, we live in a day where basically anybody could be anything they want to be, you know? So I like that, Smooth. And once again, I want to thank you for coming on this show. And thank you for being with us and spreading your message and your dopeness with everybody.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Like I told y'all, I got two dope artists here with me today. Okay, so we just got done with Smooth, but I got another artist here for y'all, and she is real dope. She is a designer, a model, a creative director, and she does this all herself. I'm here with Miss Diamond Gray. How you doing, Diamond?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming here.
Of course.
So tell us a little about yourself before we get started.
Well, I started with art in general when I was younger in elementary school. Like, I loved it so much. I first started sewing when I had my first sewing machine. I was 7 years old. It was a little brat sewing machine, so it didn't really do much. But I started making stuff for my little doll babies, and then a lady gave my mom a sewing machine that was a Singer 1974 Futura 2 Series sewing machine. And that's where I started sewing off of.
Hey, at 7 years old?
Yeah.
And then that's where your passion started to develop.
Very much so.
Dang, so what was one of the first things that you did that you accomplished?
It was in middle school when I really started sewing like actual clothes and tailoring stuff. It was in one of my grandmother's old raincoats. It was a yellow. I painted it on one side of it, and then like I tailored it to fit because it was like too big. It was like a large. And then I wore it to school, and I was so nervous. Like, oh, you talk about me, da 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 da. But people were like, oh, where you get your jacket from? And I was like, I made it. He's like, no, really, like where did you get your jacket from? But it was really cool.
That must have been a real good feeling.
It was.
Everybody loving the jacket that you made.
That's the best feeling. Wearing something that you created, what you did, is the best feeling to have.
So you started real early. What led you just to jump into fashion?
Well, I took a kind of break of when I was in high school. I would always like sketch, design, stuff like that, but I never really had the time to like sew because I was at a private school, tough curriculum, didn't have time to do anything. I was playing sports. So my senior year came and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own prom dress. I was like, I don't want to spend all this money on prom dress when I can make it myself. I know how to sew. So
Your own prom dress?
yes, my own prom dress. So it was a month before prom happened. It was like spring break. I was like, hey, let me buy fabrics and everything. My prom dress cost $74.
Okay, had to come up.
From fabric, I used silk satin, and it was a great but hard experience. I didn't finish my dress until the day of prom, and it was spectacular. People were like, you made that? I'm like, yeah. My dress was Josephine Baker inspired, so like deep plunging neckline, low back, and then like a like a mermaid like tail.
And you just made your own prom dress and finished that day, still got ready and went to prom.
Yeah.
But you know, that feeling afterwards had to be great, you know?
It was great. It's still hanging up in my room. I still look at it sometimes. I'm like, I wish I could get back in it, but.
So, like you said, you made your prom dress and wore it to prom. So you designed and modeled.
Yes.
So, if you had to pick, you know, which one would you go with?
This is hard. I'll say designing, because I'm all for like get rich but not famous. Like I love to be behind the scenes.
Okay.
That's my type of thing. Like I love showing my face, da 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 da. But when it comes to work, I like to see my work on other people. So that's why I would rather design than to model.
Okay. So there's this saying like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? So like, did you just start putting stuff on and modeling and be like, hey, I can make this myself? Or did you start making stuff and say, hey, I could model this?
So, fun facts about me. I started modeling when I was like 10. Like I had my first photo shoot, like professional photo shoot when I was 10. And like from then I was just like, oh, I love taking pictures. And I was just like, And then I got to sewing my stuff more. So it was like, I guess you could say sewing did come first.
Okay.
Designing did come first. But I feel like they both played hand in hand.
Yeah.
So it was like sewing, then modeling.
That's good. And we have some of your work here with us.
Yes.
You want to talk about some of it?
So this dress right here, this like tan beige dress, it is 95% hand sewn. So that took me 3 days to make. The only part that is machine sewn are all the edges and ends of it because it's serged, so it wouldn't fray. I did all the small details when it came from the tulip-like petals on it and around the waistband, and it was literally my favorite. I had a great time making it. So
3 days.
3 days.
That's some dedication. Dang, but this came out nice.
Thank you.
What about this one, this colorful one?
So this was in my second collection this summer when I dropped. It was more of a supply and demand thing.
Mm-hmm.
So people were like, when are we gonna get some more stuff? Because my first collection, I sold out completely. Like I profited, I sold out. I was crying the day of. Like I sold out in 4 hours. I was like, oh my gosh. Everybody calling me like, damn, there's nothing on your site anymore. I was just like, this is a blessing. And everything that happened that day, I was just like, it's nothing but God. It ain't anybody. And so this came out 2 weeks. I had my first collection on June 19th because I wanted to celebrate being black and everything coming out my business being a black business, so I did on Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Then I dropped this 2 weeks after, so I was sewing nonstop, coming out with orders nonstop. Like I would sew, be in my basement, sewing for like 12-hour days sewing. That's all I did this summer myself. So that came out and I double profit off of this.
Okay.
So I learned, as you go along in business, you learn do's and don'ts.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned not to buy fabric in Maryland anymore because it's highly taxed and they don't have as much fabric stores in Maryland. So I go to New York now to get my fabric and everything because it's cheaper there, it's better quality and better to choose from.
So you basically learned the cheat codes.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I spent $500 on fabric in my first collection. This collection second collection I spent $134 to be exact, and materials.
Okay, so you definitely got the cheat codes.
Most definitely.
That's what's up. That is what's up. So, with all of this, where do you want this to go, or where do you see this going?
I want it to be bigger. Like my next collection, I'm working with more constructed pieces, so I'm trying to stay away from like spandex like stretchy material. I still have some pieces that still offer those, but I really want to like show my talent and my techniques more and have a nice like refined cut look. So I'm working with corsets now. So like this right here, this is like not finished product, but it's almost finished. It's something that I'm really like trying to understand and cultivate. From the designer, the first designer that really caught my eye when it came to corsets was Zelda Wayne Valdez.
Okay.
She was the designer for Playboy. She made the first Playboy corset, like bunny suit. And she was a black woman. She designed for Billie Holiday, Aretha Franklin, all these people. Like she only sized Aretha Franklin once from a picture. And she had to, every single time she saw, like Aretha wanted a dress, she had to make it from a picture, like size her, everything from a picture.
And she still made it perfect.
Made it perfectly and fit her. So she literally is like my inspiration when it comes to sewing and designing and making patterns, because there's a lot to go into making stuff. You can't just, oh, I'm gonna cut fabric and make it.
Yeah.
You have to make patterns, you have to know measurements, you have to know basic geometry, basic shapes. So it's a lot to go into stuff. People don't realize that.
So how much time did you put in just studying the art of sewing?
I'm gonna say over time, I had my mistakes, of course. Like at first I was just like, I don't wanna use people's patterns. So it took me a while to understand how to make my own patterns. From measurements, from like making sure it's even, to making sure like it's a good size chart. Because a lot of companies, like I'm saying, Pro 21, H&M, they use the basic US size chart.
Okay.
So you have to make sure you're staying in those brackets of like 2s, 4s, 6s, and all the other stuff. Just make sure you're aiming your group, like the group that you want, your target group. So my target group was small, medium, and large. I got some scrutiny from it, but because I offer larger sizes. But what a lot of people don't understand is it takes a lot of work just to cultivate this to make small, medium, and large. And this being it's a one-man show, literally one woman show. That's me.
Yeah.
So I was cutting fabric, sewing it, designing, mailing out, advertising, creative directing. Like I was doing everything by myself. Only the website part was my friend helping me, but I had to produce all the names, produce all like the prices and everything, do my price points, my margins. So people don't realize it's a bigger picture than just putting out clothes and getting stuff done.
Yeah.
So I haven't came up with a collection recently because I've been working on custom orders. So I do custom. That's where the money is. Tailoring and making people's clothes for them.
Just for them.
Just for them, because like I can charge you for measurements. I can charge you for time, labor, all that stuff. So that's what I've really been doing lately. Just doing customs. I've done 10 customs since the new year. So yeah.
Okay. And you said we talked a little bit before, so you also you're a creative director. And you also told me about how you directed your own birthday shoot.
Yeah, that was my favorite shoot, I think, of all time. I still can't get over the pictures and everything, how everything worked out. It was just beautiful. Like my theme was very much like Dorothy Dandridge, Diana Ross, feathers, get very much 70s, 60s vibes. And a little bit of like 30s into it with the flappers look with the feathers and everything. And then I had my finger waves. And yeah, it was great. I spent 8 hours working on that shoot, in that day, taking my pictures. But yeah, I have an app on my phone where it connects to my camera, and then I take my pictures that way, and everything just goes good. I take like 400 pictures each shoot, so I can choose which one I want to use for post or my website.
So let's just get this straight, all right? So not only do you design the shoot, all right, you take the pictures, you design the clothes that you wear for the shoot, and you also make a video for the shoot that you did.
Yeah.
You do all that just yourself.
Yep.
That is crazy.
My birthday shoot took 3 months to actually plan. I'm gonna say 2.5 months. I started November after Thanksgiving. I had this idea and I made it like a mood board. Like before I do something really big like that, I make a mood board and like, oh, I want this, this is what I'm looking for. And then I go out and do it or buy stuff for it or whatnot.
Okay. So you seem pretty experienced in all of this.
It's a growing experience. Like I'm gonna say like I'm in the middle. because there's still so much more room to grow when it comes to editing, when it comes to taking pictures, just trying different things, like taking yourself out of the comfort zone of doing different things. So yeah, I'm in the middle. Still a lot of room to grow.
So for somebody that was, coming up and then maybe they start off just like you, what are some of the advice you would give to that person?
Like I just said, step out of your comfort zone. No matter what people say about you or what you might think, people might think about you, step out your comfort zone. Because at the end of the day, you're the only person that's gonna have to deal with it. Like, yeah, if I like it, I'm gonna post it. And that's how you have to do it. Like, I don't care if other people, like, my whole thing is like with social media and everything, like we're so driven by it, but like do things that make you happy.
Yes.
And only do those things. So, like, I understand life is about doing things that you don't want to do sometimes, but do things that make you happy. Don't post just for likes. Post because I want to share my art with the world.
Right.
And that's how I post, so.
I love that, Diamond. Well, this has been a great experience with you. I love your energy. You seem like a really bright person, and I think your clothes, reflect that. And so, is there any words that you want to say to the people? Anything you want to say to them?
Oh, just thank you for having me, and stay true to you always. Don't forget that you are the light, and no one else can take that away from you. And just stay positive, and yeah, be strong.
And where can they find you?
Well, I have an Instagram where I do take my custom orders on. It's Gray by Dime, so GRAYBYDYM. Yeah, so Dime right here.
Like I told you, I had two dope artists, Smooth and Diamond Gray. They are both up and coming artists and they are doing their thing right now. So please do your best to support these artists like you would want people to support you. Because these could be the next greatest people. Like these could be the next, Jay-Z. These could be the next, Spike Lee. You never know. So please support these people. And please support What's Dope. We're trying to do our best to, spotlight dope artists in the area. And if you know of any dope artists, bring them to us, Bring them to us so we can spotlight them and keep supporting the arts. So thank y'all for watching What's Dope.